What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see, man, from the looks of the title and the screen, today I got a very special build in store for y'all. Now I'm going to be calling this one the Playmaking Perimeter Post Score. Now out of all NBA players, this one is going to be reminding me of icy TRAE Young. Now when it comes to today's build, we're going to be able to get a 100 plus for our attributes when it comes to our mid-range shot, three-pointer, pass accuracy, ball handle, speed with ball, stamina, and we'll be able to also get a 90 plus acceleration, driving layup, and post control. Now once we get into the animations, you'll be able to see that we get all of the dribble packages. Now getting into the badges, we're going to be able to get 15 Hall of Fame. Now my favorites are going to be Limitless Range, Agent 3, Ankle Breaker, Open Looks, and there's so much more involved. Now from there we'll also get 18 gold, 10 silver, 2 bronze, and 45 in total. Now that really just gives you an idea of that this build is really strong in the areas that I did decide to go about creating it. So look, before we get any further into this video, I really do just want to say God bless y'all, and more so than anything, thank you God for this opportunity. Now look, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. Now to get started, we can go ahead and leave this build under the point guard position, also put this build at the height of 6'3", and getting into the weight, I'm going to go ahead and put this to 170. Now as for when it comes to the wingspan, I'm going to go with 6'4", and this really opens up the floor not only to get more out of our attributes, but get higher badges at higher tiers. Now let's go ahead and get started with today's build, and the first area that's going to set the tone is going to be the speed. So I'm going to go with an 80. Personally, that's just my own preference. Now if you want to go higher or lower, make the own adjustments to your own liking. Now as for the acceleration, I like this best at an 89, and then moving into the vertical, leave this at a 50, go 2 ticks up on the strength to a 27, and then as for the stamina, with this kind of build, you're looking to be the main ball handler on your team and dribble as much as you possibly can. So I'm going to go with a 99 stamina, and down the road you're going to see exactly why I did that. Now getting into the rest of this build, the first area that I'm going to get into is going to be the ball handle. So go ahead and put this up to a 93, and this right there will allow you to get all of the dribble packages. Now as for the pass accuracy, I'm going to go with an 87, and this right there really is going to allow you to be more of a point guard even if you want to go ahead and pass. Now if you want to be more of an ISO type player, that's definitely another route. You can lower this pass accuracy, but I think this sets the tone to take it into any 5v5 setting. Now moving on to the speed with ball, I'm going to go with an 83. And this really is going to allow you to be super effective going around screens. Now I promise to go back to get into the badges, but as for this build, I think as for the playmaking end, you're really in store for one of the best experiences that you can go after when it comes to 2K this year. You have everything that you could want, the badges more importantly. Now getting into the shooting, go with a 99 free throw as well as our 3-pointer. Now look, we got a lot of Hall of Fame badges just from using our attributes in those areas. As for the mid-range shot, I'm going to go with an 84, so leave it as is. And then when it comes to our post control, this is what's going to make this build super unique. So look, we have nothing put towards this area, and we already have a 98 overall put towards this build. But as you can see, you can go ahead and put this all the way up to a 77, and it did not even take 1 overall away from this build, which is going to allow us to make more adjustments. Now the last area that I'm going to put into is going to be the driving layup. Put this up to a 77, And that right there is going to allow us to get gold float game. Now even more so, that's going to be one reason why this build is going to be reminding me of Trae Young. Now getting into the shooting badges, this is really what I'm most excited about. We get Hall of Fame blinders, Deadeye, which is very important, catch and shoot with Green Machine, Space Creator. I'm telling y'all, this really allows you to break ankles. Now badges that I also do like are going to be Gold Mini Magician. As for the 3-pointer, look, I promised y'all, Limitless Range, Agent 3, all of these are going to be on Hall of Fame. Let me know right now your thoughts and opinion on this build. Is there anything that you would do to make it even better? And this is going to be one of the only builds that is going to be able to get Hall of Fame free points. So if you get fouled in any 5v5 setting, you're definitely going to want this build at the line at any moment in the game. Now as for the pass accuracy, this is going to be one of those rare builds that does get the bailout badge. I think on bronze, I'm telling y'all, anything more than this is going to be overkill, but I really do believe that bronze bailout is going to set you apart from a lot of other point guards. Now other badges that I'm looking at are going to be Special Delivery, we get Gold Break Starter and Relay Passer. Now as for the ball handle, I like Blow By with handles for days. Killer Combos is really important. We get Speed Booster and Unpluckable, Ankle Breaker on Hall of Fame with Triple Strike. Now as for the speed with ball, we get Silver Hyperdrive, which I think it's enough. Also when it comes to this end of the floor, you have everything more needed, especially adding into the dribble packages. Now if you run with a center or even one lockdown and one center, I think that's going to be a perfect lineup to go into. Now especially if you take this build into the rec, I think you're going to be more than fine. From here, let's go ahead and move forward to see what we created together. And as y'all can see, we should be able to get these 3 comparisons, Trae Young being one, and together we were able to make the Playmaking Perimeter Post Score. Now it's going to come out to a Playmaking Perimeter Creator, but I really do believe that this is one of the most unique point guard builds that you can make right now. Now let me know as far as for this build, what do you think about adding boost, including your takeover and wearing gear? On top of that, you get an additional boost from playing well throughout each game. This is really one of the best builds that you can make, especially on the offensive end. Now I just want to say thank you God for this day and another opportunity. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. And last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. Be sure to add Rich Sosa, and if you want to run, I'll definitely be sure to get back to y'all. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.